and a student of University of Education, Unilag Kumasi campus. In this video, I'll be taking you through how to install and configure DHCP on Windows Server 208 R2. So before you start everything, you need to on your server. So this is my server. So before you start, you go to Start, Administrative Tool, and then you go to Server Manager, as you can see here. Okay, so this is my Server Manager window. You see Add Rows over here at the right pane of the window. You click on it. Okay, so you go to Next. When you come here, you see DHCP server here, so you just check the box. Good. Then you click on Next. So this is basically telling you what DHCP is all about, so you can read to get more understanding of DHCP. Next. Okay, so this one is indicating the IP address of the server that you are working on. So you make sure you check. If it's not checked, you make sure you check it. Now select network connecting bindings. So I'll go to Next. That's my parent domain, and then specify the IP address of the DNS server that clients will use for name isolation. So the server that is holding your DNS or the domain name server should specify the IP address here. This is basically the loopback address. So I'll just clean it and type the IP address of my DNS, which is 192.168.10.1. I'll validate to see if it is correct. Okay, valid. So, and the next one is alternative DNS server IP version 4. Right? So if you're having another server which is having another DNS on it, you can also specify the IP address here. But in this case, I'll go to Next because I don't have any alternative DNS server in my network. If you also have any Win server, you can also specify the IP address here. But I don't have any Win server, so I'll just maintain the option which is being selected here and go to Next. Okay, here it is asking you to create your scope. I mean the IP address that the server should be given to any client that joins the domain. So that's a scope is the range of possible IP addresses for a network. For example, if there's any new clients in the network or any new machine in the network, the DHCP will assign an IP address to the person. So you have to determine or specify the scope of or the range of IP addresses that the server should be giving out. So in doing that, you go to add the scope name. That's my, I'll give it scope 1. Scope 1. Starting IP address. Let me say the DHCP should start the IP address from, let me say 192.168.10. Let me say 5. Let me make it 10. And then ending IP address 192.168.10.254. You can make it, you can put a number there, but it shouldn't be more than 255. Okay, so you have to activate the scope over here. You have to check it. So it is checked. That means my scope is activated. Configuration settings. So by default, the IP address I gave is class C. So it's giving the default subnet mask here, which is 255.255.255.0. Okay, so I'll just go to OK. So you can see the scope is here, 10 to 254. Okay, so I'll go to next. It said configure DHCP version 6 stateless mode. I'll disable it. And go to next. Use current credentials. So I'm going to maintain this one. Authorize DHCP server. So I'll use the current credentials. That's my username, the domain name. Yeah, so the credentials of the current user will be used to authorize this DHCP server in Active Directory domain service. So I'll go to next. So this is the summary of the configurations I have done on my server. As you can see here, I'll click on next to install it. So the DHCP server is now installed. When you are done installing it, you need to restart the server. Okay, so as you can see, DHCP server installation succeeded. So you click on close, you restart your machine, restart. Okay. So I'm now restarting the machine. Modest, yeah. Password for. Okay, let me send them to you. Okay. So welcome back. So the machine has restarted. Control Alt Insert to log in as administrator. Okay. So I'll go back to Server Manager. Once again, here is it. I'll go to you see DHCP here. This is my Active Directory domain. We have DHCP server here. I will open it. I have my DHCP. Once again, open it. I have IP version 4 here, and we have IP version 6. So I'll go to open the IP version 4. You have the scope here. That's scope 1. You have the address pool. So you can click on it and check this, your address pool. It started from 10 to 245. Okay. When you right click on it, you see you can add exclusion range, meaning if you want to exclude some IP addresses that the DHCP should not assign to any device, especially maybe if you have some special devices you want to assign those IP addresses to. So you can exclude those IP addresses so that the DHCP will not assign those addresses to any device. So my start IP address start from 10. So maybe I will exclude the first 5 address. So from 10 to 15 will be excluded. So I will just go to new exclusion range. So start IP address maybe 192.168.10.10. Okay, 2.192.168.10.15. So that this 5 IP addresses will be excluded, meaning that DHCP will not assign it to any device. So you can give it to any device in the network that you want to assign those IP addresses to, maybe a router or another. If you get another server, you can give this IP address that you have excluded, you can give one of them to the new server that you want to assign. Then you click on add, close. You see that these are what excluded. You have not added any list. Reservation to reservation users. Reservation ensures that the DHCP client is always assigned the same IP address. Okay, so you can also configure it, and then so that that device will not be given any new IP address. For example, you can specify a special IP address to maybe a device in the network, and then that IP address will not be changed. So that device is going to maintain that IP address forever, unless you change it yourself. Okay, you have the scope option, you have DNS servers, and then you have the scope option and then server option. The scope option is only for scope, and then server options is for only servers. For example, configure option, for example, you can specify a router IP address that the devices in the scope should use as their default gateway. For example, configure option, you can select router 3 and assign an IP address to the router. That means when any device in the network is given automatic IP address, then this router's IP address should be given to that device or those devices as their default gateway automatically. So you can do that by putting it here, the IP address or the router. But right now I don't have any router. I've not configured any routing on the server, so I will leave it like that. Okay, I'll leave it like that. Okay, let me give it 192.168.10.5. Okay, 10.5. So I'll click on add. Apply. Okay. So as you can see, the router's IP address have been shown here. So anytime I begin the router, I'll make sure I assign this IP address to the router. Okay, so that's it. I'll close it. So my friend, this is how you configure or you install and configure DHCP on the server. So my Dhcp is configured. Thank you very much for listening to this video. My name is Judando, and I'll be coming your way with so many videos on server administration. Thank you once again.